Welcome on into a Broncos Breakdown mailbag edition. I've got questions to answer from our live show, which aired on Tuesday afternoon. Hoping to go live more often throughout the offseason, so make sure you subscribe so I can tell my bosses, hey, let's put some more resources into the Broncos Breakdown at Chat Sports. First question coming in via Super Chat from Daniel. Garrett Wilson or Tyreek Hill? I would go with Garrett Wilson and not think twice about it. Now, I don't think the Jets are actively looking to trade Garrett Wilson. I think if they bring back Aaron Rodgers, there could be a problem, but I don't think they are going to bring back Aaron Rodgers. I think it's likely Rodgers retires, so that will kind of solve itself. But if there was a potential trade, my guess is the Jets would want to get a first-round draft pick for Garrett Wilson, and with Denver being in the postseason, that's not a very enticing first-round draft pick. Remember, they took him like 10th overall. They're going to want something similar so they can replace him with another quality wide receiver. And Denver is going to be picking in the 20s most likely. Chinook, next one up. Do you think the Broncos could upset the Bills? Yes, I do. And I'm not just saying that to puff my chest and give you guys something to drink and slip on. I believe that the matchup is nice for Denver. The Bills have a high-powered offense, and the Broncos have a very stout defense. And so then it really comes down to Broncos offense against Buffalo's defense. And the Bills defense, while it's been very good at generating takeaways this year, I've got faith that the Broncos offense can do just enough if the Broncos defense slows down Josh Allen and the Bills offense just enough. Other teams might try to get in a shootout with Buffalo. That's a recipe for disaster. They're going to win in a shootout. And if this game becomes a shootout, the Bills are going to win. But if this game is 20-20 going into the fourth quarter, Broncos defense has them right where they want them, with an opportunity for their offense to take the lead in the fourth quarter. So I really do believe Denver's got a chance of upsetting Buffalo. Peyton J, do you take Ashton Jeanty, Cam Skattebo, or Warren in the first round? As a BAU student, I would love Jeanty, but I also very much see the appeal of Warren. May I offer you Cam Skattebo? Because the more I watched him at Arizona State, the more he reminded me of times of Taysom Hill, who was a great fit for Sean Payton in New Orleans. Someone who can throw, run, and catch. So keep an eye on Cam in rounds 2 and rounds 3 of the draft as someone the Broncos might target as Sean Payton's next Taysom Hill. Matthew, next one up on the show. What is the most important plan to beat the Bills, offense or defense? Defense. If Denver's defense no-shows, they have no chance. If Denver's defense surrenders 30 points, they have no chance. Denver is not winning this game 35-32. They are winning this game 24-21. I don't need the defense to come out and pitch a shutout, but I do need the defense to slow down Allen and the Bills just enough for what I believe is like a middle-of-the-pack, good, above-average Broncos offense to just have a chance, have a shot. And that starts with the defense giving them a shot. If Denver's offense has to be perfect on every single drive because Buffalo scores on every single one of their drives, they're going to get outpowered and outmanned over 60 minutes. It's definitely the defense. David Yates, which of our players do you think will be a game changer for us to win? So, a few weeks ago, I did a video on a bit of a rising piece for Denver, and word got out on Marvin Mims. So Buffalo is going to be keying in on 19, who has had a really strong ending to the regular season. So I'll go with maybe a more unique answer because Marvin Mims is no longer a secret to the NFL. I'm hoping or assuming that any good coach will have picked up on the way he has played to close out the season. So another another game changer for the Broncos. Let's go with, how about Cody Barton? Since taking over from Alex Singleton as the top linebacker on this team, he's done a phenomenal job. And he's going to be in for a long day, spying on Josh Allen, trying to keep him in the pocket, not letting Allen beat the Broncos with his legs. And I think if Cody Barton has a great game and you see Josh Allen get 4-yard runs instead of 10, 11, 12-yard runs, that's going to frustrate Buffalo's offense. So I'll go with Cody Barton on the defensive side of things. Aiden, What's more important for us to draft? Running back, tight end, or wide receiver? Great question, Aiden. Let's say Denver's picking somewhere in the 20s. You know what I mean? Obviously, ideally 32, but I would say the biggest need for Denver is running back. And then the next question you ask yourself is, how do you rank these positions in terms of value? For me, it goes wide receiver, running back, tight end. I'm confident enough in the wide receiver unit right now to hit pause on addressing the wide receiver room for later in the draft and then addressing running back. I would love nothing more than for Denver to go out there and get Ashton Jeanty in the first round because they have not had a 100-yard rusher since Latavius Murray at the end of the 2022 season. They need to go get a star running back. They are long overdue for one. So I'd go with running back. It's more important than tight end, which Denver definitely does need help at, but tight ends can only influence the game so much. Running backs have a greater influence, in my opinion. The Lord of Liberty. What do you think of switching Lil Jordan Humphrey to tight end? He is one of their better run-blocking wide receivers. I don't know if he's really got the frame to be a tight end, to really stick him on the offensive line. There's a bit of a switch going from blocking corners to blocking defensive ends, chipping Myles Garrett and TJ Watt, and then taking on linebackers. I don't think it's probably the best move for Lil Jordan Humphrey unless he wants to add some serious LBS over the offseason, but I can see the idea behind this one. Before we look at the other questions on today's show, I do have to give a quick shout out to our friends over at GameTime. GameTime has an awesome feature called GameTime Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. GameTime Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. One thing I love about GameTime is they offer the GameTime guarantee. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, GameTime will credit you 110% of the difference. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Once again, if you want to go see a Broncos game, maybe this Sunday in Buffalo, or you want to see a Nuggets game or an Avs game, do it with GameTime. Download GameTime today. What time is it? Game time. Octavio Rodriguez, longtime viewer of the channel. As Broncos fans, do we want the Chargers to lose this weekend or win to show how good the AFC West is? Personally, I want them to lose. If this was college football, you'd probably want them to win to boost your resume, right? But it ain't college football. So definitely lose, right? You don't want that locker room to start learning how to win playoff games. They haven't done that in ages. So everyone should be rooting for the Texans over the Chargers. Last thing you need is 53 guys in LA learning how to finish games, something the Chargers have not been able to do for their entire existence. Jaden, if Warren is off the board, who should we take? Loveland or a running back or wide receiver? Tyler Warren, excellent tight end from Penn State. I would say Colston Loveland. That's the Michigan tight end who did not have a phenomenal statistical season this year. They also were running a 1920s offense. Michigan could barely complete a forward pass. So if his value or his stock goes down as a result, that's great news for Denver. Because if they had a competent offense, he'd be going, I think, earlier than where he is projected. So I would say if Warren is off the board and you can't get Ashton Jeanty, then Colston Loveland. If I really had to rank all three guys, I'd probably go like this, right? Let me give you one for all four in rankings. Number 1 is Ashton Jeanty. Number 2 is Tyler Warren. Number 3 is Colston Loveland. And then number 4, I'll say, is Luther Burden, the wide receiver out of Mizzou. Jaden, appreciate your question. DFW Beast, if we beat the Bills and the Chiefs, do you think we can win the Super Bowl? If Denver slays the 1 and 2 seed, they are winning the Super Bowl. It is the ultimate Disney plot ever. They will be the next New York Giants taking down the undefeated New England Patriots. I would have zero doubt in my mind if they can get to the AFC Championship game, they're going all the way. They will have accomplished the toughest games already. So even if they're playing the Ravens, who curb stomped them, let's just call it what it is, earlier this season, if they slayed those Dragons, yeah, I'm taking Denver all the way, DFW Beast. Appreciate your question. Thank you so much. Next question coming in via Super Chat from Urban Figure. Jonathan Cooper and a second rounder for Garrett Wilson. No. Sorry, let me back up. No, this would not happen. You don't trade away someone you just gave a contract extension to. And you're not trading away Nick Bonito. So, while this might work in Madden, in reality, no. Would I do this? Probably not. I think Cooper, and if you hit that second rounder, that tandem can be more impactful to you than Garrett Wilson. I think Garrett Wilson's very good. 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons for the New York Jets. But I don't think he's an absolute world-class receiver where he outweighs a guy with 10 sacks and a second-round draft pick. I say no to this, Urban. Weston Berger. Who should we get if Vance Joseph leaves for a head coach on another team? Also, who are our opponents for next year? So, Weston, I like the second half of this question because, believe it or not, that is my video I am filming on Wednesday. So, I'm not going to spoil it, but you actually read my mind here. But the shorter answer is they are playing the third-place teams around the NFL, and then I believe they are playing the AFC South. So, we'll look at that in a little bit. But, anywho, that's tomorrow's video, so don't cuck me right now and reveal my entire video for Wednesday. Weston, as for replacing Vance Joseph, a couple names that come to mind. Robert Saleh, former DC of the Niners, fired as the Jets head coach. He'd be an incredible hire. Bengals defensive coordinator, Lou Anarumo. I don't think he was a bad coordinator. I just think that they had bad personnel and maybe a change of scenery was necessary, but I think they will regret firing Lou. I also don't think that Vance Joseph is going to get hired away this year. Possibly next year, but I think for his second head coaching stint, there has to be a little bit of a longer trial at the coordinator job, right? I'm guessing Vance Joseph is not going to land a head coaching job. Plus, there's 6 openings right now. The Raiders aren't going to hire him. I doubt the Saints go from one defensive coach to another. So the Bears, they need an offensive guy for Caleb Williams. Like, you just really start limiting your pool. I don't think this is the cycle for VJ. Cool guy. If the Broncos keep their momentum, if the Broncos keep their momentum, you think carrying it on to the Bills could win them the game? Yeah, I do. I do think the Broncos have a better chance of winning this Sunday than most people want to give them credit for. Everyone's picking Buffalo without thinking, and I get it. The Bills were awesome this year. They're the 2 seed for a reason. But the Bills have a track record of choking in the postseason. Let's acknowledge that. And I like Denver's matchup with the Bills. Broncos defense against the Bills offense. Florian Swanson, we'll end with this one right here. What's your favorite moment of this season? A lot of good moments across the 10 wins. I'm going to go with Pat Surtain's 99-yard pick 6 against the Raiders, though. Not that it was a tone setter. The Raiders aren't a great team. But it did get the annoying monkey off the back of Denver's inability to knock off the Las Vegas Raiders. And that paved the way for them sweeping the Raiders for the first time in a decade. So I'll go with the 99-yard pick 6 from PS2. That will do it for us on today's show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you have a question, join us for our live show next Tuesday here on the channel.